The sun hung low in the sky, a molten disk casting the desert in hues of gold and amber. Waves of heat shimmered in the distance, and the sand shifted beneath Zephyr's boots like liquid bronze. The vast expanse seemed endless, punctuated only by massive materia stones scattered across the terrain. These jagged relics caught the sun's rays, their surfaces glinting with faint, iridescent hues as though holding secrets from an age long past. A low wind whistled through the dunes, carrying a metallic tang that mingled with the dry, scorching air. Beside Zephyr slithered Leopsis, a bull snake tome with weathered, leathery skin. His body glided effortlessly over the shifting sands, the crimson plume atop his head quivering in the breeze. Despite his serpentine elegance, there was a weight of purpose in his movements, a quiet energy coiled within its muscular frame. Leopsis's voice broke the stillness, soft but tinged with awe. "Incredible bird," he said, his tone reverent. You've crafted an entire universe." Zephyr's gaze remained fixed on the horizon, where the dunes rippled like a vast ocean frozen in time. The shadows of the materia stones stretched long and thin, marking the slow descent of the sun. "Persistence," he replied, his tone calm and measured, "and discipline." Leopsis's plume quivered as he turned his head toward Zephyr, his curiosity piqued. "How?" he asked simply. Zephyr paused, crouching to draw a line in the sand with his talon. The gesture was deliberate, as if marking a pivotal moment. "I made a choice," he said. "This is what I've decided I'm doing." He straightened, brushing the grains of sand from his talons. "And so, seeds. I mark them down, and then I do it." A sharp hiss escaped Leopsis, his flume flicking with excitement. "Keep going," he encouraged, his tone bordering on enthusiastic. The pair pressed onwards, their movements synchronized against the backdrop of the endless desert. The wind picked up slightly, scattering fine grains of sand across their path. Leopsis raised his voice, his tone shifting to a playful snarl. "The next trail is set," he proclaimed. "Reset your doubt. Grind it out." His leathery body twisted in a rhythmic motion as he slithered forward. Zephyr remained silent, his gaze steady. Leopsis, undeterred, let out a teasing laugh. "Come on," he said, his tone challenging. "You gonna go soft on me? How else are you gonna go get those gains?" he bellowed, his voice echoing across the dunes. "Pain!" "Enough yelling," Zephyr said abruptly, his voice cutting through the air. He stopped and turned to face Leopsis, his expression cold and resolute. "You will not stir a reaction from me." The wind held its breath, the desert falling silent. Zephyr's silhouette stood tall against the blazing horizon. "I am the mountain," he declared. "Fortitude emits from me." Leopsis hissed softly, his plume twitching with irritation. "Now I ask you," he began, only to be interrupted by Zephyr's smirk. "Oh, your puny brain can muster a question?" Zephyr teased, his voice laced with humor. "Hey," Leopsis snapped, mock offense in his tone. "That's not very nice." Zephyr raised an eyebrow, a chuckle escaping his lips. Okay, if you have a question, then come to ask." Leopsis grumbled, his tone still playful. "Well, I've been thinking." Zephyr groaned theatrically. "Oh, great." "Are you going to let me finish?" Leopsis demanded. "Fine," Zephyr said, rolling his eyes. "Go on." Leopsis tilted his head, his plume quivering as he spoke. Is it 8 slates or 6 that unlocks the first key?" Zephyr exhaled slowly, his tone thoughtful. "You refer to the tablet's elation," he asked. 6 represents flow, 8 the clicking cup. He gestured to the sounds around them as if illustrating his points. If you can get through the first flow, well, 6 represents the first show of momentum. After 8, there is no going back. Leopsis slithered in a restless circle, his energy brimming. "After that," Zephyr continued, his voice was steady, "each extra etch is gains." Leopsis snapped playfully. "Okay, another question." Zephyr feigned mock disbelief. "Wow, really working that brain of yours today. What's gotten into you?" "Shut it," Leopsis hissed, his tone carrying an edge of irritation. The desert shimmered as the conversation grew more heated. Leopsis coiled tightly, steam rising faintly from his scales. With a sudden burst of energy, he charged at Zephyr, calm and unshakable. Zephyr sidestepped gracefully, leaping onto a nearby materia stone. The stone glowed faintly beneath his boots, its surface humming with latent energy. Leopsis hissed, raising his voice as he perched atop another stone. "Start. Add another if you dare. Now you've opened 2 stacks." Zephyr crouched on the stone, his tone calm. "It does," he admitted, "but I know that each slate contributes to the final goal." He placed a talon on the glowing stone beneath him, the hum of his energy resonating through his claws. "You see, there is a tracker of time in each volume," he said, "per chapter, per tome. The verses are always there, between the sun, beneath the stone." Leopsis slithered closer, his plume quivering. "Where does the work go?" he asked, his curiosity genuine. Zephyr stood, his gaze fixed on the horizon, where a materia staircase rose from the sands. At its peak, a white flag fluttered gently in the breeze, a beacon of the next level. "That we come to know through loss," Zephyr said, his voice somber. "You see, Leopsis, it's not binding yourself to where you want to be that puts you at the top." His words hung heavy in the air, resonating with the weight of experience. That fear, he continued, his tone measured, the constant nagging of what if. That's why we step. That's what makes it worth it. The wind picked up, carrying his words across the desert. The white flag at the top of the staircase fluttered defiantly against the molten sky. Zephyr and Leopsis continued their journey, their figures silhouetted against the glowing bronze sands as they pressed onward, the weight of their purpose etched into the shifting landscape.